Hello guys and girls, how's it going? Screezilla here and I hope you're all well. Well, welcome to Kumsk. Can never pronounce this bloody map. Kimsk. This map anyway. And it's a break mission. It's not my favourite gameplay. I've got to admit, I'm not a huge fan of this style of ground forces. I just don't find it fun, I guess. I just always find this mode a little bit iffy. So, as you might have guessed, I'm grinding up Japanese tanks at the moment. Well, I'm not really grinding up. I've only got the Type 74 and the awful ATGM to go for Japan, but I'm currently working on it. And I do apologise if I a lot in this video, or if I start stuttering. Just I've had a long day at work and a bit tired, so I'll apologise in advance. So I'm back in the Ho-Ri, the tank destroyer, and I've been playing it quite a lot, and as I say, my opinion is still the same on it. I still don't think it's the best premium vehicle you can buy, but it's been reasonably good, and I've been having some relatively good games in it. I've been finding the front armor is very decent, especially when you're facing 6.0 BR, but when you're facing the Russians, it can be a bit iffy and hit or miss. You've got to be very careful. So, they recently changed this map. As you can see, it changed a lot, and I think they've done a really I start stammering. Really good job of making this map a little bit more interesting. It used to be very very dull. This one, it was never my favourite map, but now with this area here, with the outpost, and up on this section here, there's a really good ridge line, and you can also use the water now to get around if you have amphibious vehicle. Wow, I'm stammering terribly tonight. So it's made this map a little bit more engaging. And there are some reasonably good ridgelines you can play around on this map as well. So, why this replay? Well, it's a bit of a long replay, for one. We've got a good 20-odd minute match here, and that's a long match in War Thunder Ground Forces. And well, it was a pretty odd game, in fact. I really I thought we had lost this match a few times, and we kept going, which was good. Now I'm trying here to try and get a decent little position. I'm actually going to fast forward a little bit here, because the majority of this gameplay is me trying to find a spot that I can get into a good position and failing miserably. My game really doesn't start in sort of for a while. It's about 6-7 minutes before I start getting anything worthwhile in this game. Now I've got a good Overwatch position over A, and I'm feeling quite exposed up here, so I'm not too happy with it, but it seems like a relatively okay spot. I've got a very good vantage point over the map. Now the mobility of this thing is fantastic. There's a T-34 over there that I spotted, but I just can't swing my gun fast enough to get on target, and this is a bit worrisome because, well, I'm going to have to expose the rear of my vehicle and the side of my vehicle to this big section here, and I really don't want to do that because I know this T-34 is going to come around the side here. Did he spot me? Didn't he spot me? Well, I'm not too sure, really. We'll have to find out. So, I'm using a server replay here, because I mistakenly clicked out of the replay before I saved it, which was a bit of a dumb thing to do, as you can probably agree. So a little bit of a daft decision by me here. Now, in this position, I'm quite exposed, and as I said, I'm a bit worried about that T-34 coming behind me, and I know he's going to peer around there soon, and there he goes. So I'm trying to swing the tank around again to get a shot on target, but I just don't have the speed to get around, and this is where the tank really suffers, is getting the gun around. Of course, like most TDs, not having a turret really does affect you in this sort of match, and you sort of really get frustrated sometimes. But when you can get this gun on target, it really does magnificent things. I really do find the Japanese guns to be very effective, especially more so the World War II era styles, the Type 5 and this 105mm prototype, because of these shells that you get. The high explosive shells that you get for the Japanese tanks are fan-bloody-tastic. They've got such a good explosive filler in them that you usually get a kill with one shot. And that's what I like to have, because I'm not the greatest player of War Thunder, as you've probably guessed, and I do tend to struggle a little bit getting things on target, and it's frustrating sometimes. Now, as you see here, A's about to start getting capped. Now, I've got a T-34 to the left of me I've got to worry about. I'm a bit worried he's going to come up on that hill, but I need to start focusing on A. So there's a T-34-100 in the cap circle. It's a very dangerous vehicle to be playing with because of that fantastic gun that it has. There's an M26 there coming around, but I can get on target, try to take a shot, penetrate his turret. The explosive filler just damages his fuel tank. Another T-34 there. Again, hit the turret ring, do nothing. Reloading. Gonna aim for the turret, take the shot, and okay, he is dead. Fantastic. That's one T-34 down. So there's a T-34 in this area that I'm concerned about. Now he's actually moved over here, and I've not seen him. There's one to my left that's just killed a tiger. So I've got to try and get this on target. I think he spotted me. Go straight through the plate there, and he is down. So there's a few T-34s in this area here, and they're really going to be quite deadly. So I've really got to be careful here. And I'm trying to spot targets, but it's very tricky in this respect. And very soon, a unhappy plane, well, unhappy where was he? I think his name was... Who have we killed so far? There it is. We've got a very unhappy plane. We take out another T-34 there. But we have got a... we've got a revenge player coming in, and this is really what ends my day. And again, I've always got to say, it's so frustrating because planes just have that ability to spawn and take you out so quickly because you kill them, they revenge kill you, and it's such a unfair system. I won't go into a full rant on it today, but you know my opinions on this. I'm very much not a fan of it because it is very unfair in its system. So we've got a Tiger 2 here, the King Tiger. and a M26 over there that's busy spawn camping us. Yeah, what a hero. What a hero, being able to spawn camp. Absolute legend there, M26. So the King Tiger, of course, just sits back and does nothing, just firing machine guns. But I'm not waiting for that. I'm just going to go and charge straight in. I take a hit to my transmission, but I'm okay. The Tiger 2 was quite happy for my assistance, but it's still very frustrating sometimes when somebody in a better tank than you doesn't have the guts to drive for the advantage. So we're getting peppered by planes again, of course, because, you know, planes. And we get a ZSU. Fire. Straight through. Set him on fire, kill the driver. Fire at the same spot. And, yeah, of course, nothing much there again. Fire some machine gun rounds. But we get taken out by a T-34. ZSU, of course, takes 2 shots from an 88mm from the front. And nothing happens. Yeah, it's typical, isn't it? ZSUs are ridiculously overpowered. It's just incredible, isn't it? And of course, frontally on in the Tiger, we get taken out by a T-34 because, you know, War Thunder. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, well, I've got a Chi-Nu left, so this is the tank I choose, is the Chi-Nu 2, which is a very low BR. I think it's 3.3, and I'm in a 6 point something match, a 6.8, I think. I'm in a very high tier match, and, you know, taking out a Chi-Nu 2 does not seem like the best idea in this situation, but it's not a bad choice because of the gun, and again, this round. So we have the Type 1 APHE, which has a very good penetration rate. You've got about 130mm of penetration ability here, but you've also got very good explosive mass in there. The Type 5 gun is a fantastic gun as well, and you'll always hear me singing the praise of this thing because it is just so bloody good. It's a real... It's got very good velocity, but it's a really easy to aim gun at range, and that's one of the things that makes the difference. Now the Chi-Nu has got terrible armour. I think it's got about 50mm of frontal armour, so you're not going to survive anything in this tank. You're going to get taken out by AAA, by 50 cals. Planes are a real big threat to you. You know, you're very much... You're technically a medium tank, but you really are a light tank in this thing. ZSU over there again. Fire a shot off. Go through the track. And again, crew just don't die. He's taken out by a Tiger, thankfully. The Tiger 2P takes him out. I just really don't get ZSUs, how ridiculously overpowered they are, and I don't spot that PT-76 there, actually. It's a bit of a shame. That would have been a nice little bonus to the day. But I'm very much at a disadvantage now. I'm in a very weak tank. The T-44 coming up here. A very advanced tank compared to this thing. He doesn't spot me, thankfully. Wait for my moment. Take a shot at the side. And he is no more. It's quite lucky there that the T-44 did not notice me, because that really would not be a fair fight. You've really got to sneak with this thing to have any sort of chance. Now, you do have armour on it, and although it's not great, it does help a little bit. So, we're at a bit of a disadvantage. We've got 4 players left. 2 of them are in planes, of course, because, you know, ground forces. Now, there's a ZSU over there, I think. Another bloody ZSU 37. So I'm hoping that I can actually take a shot at him and take him out, but I'm at a bit of a disadvantage in this spot because I can't quite see him properly. So I'm hoping I can actually get it to pop over the ridgeline a little bit and take it out. But, sadly, a T-34 appears. Take a shot, hit the front of the turret, not much I can do there. Jump off this cliff and run away. Now that ZSU is going to come back to bite me in the bum. T-34 is coming over the ridgeline there. Now, I'm at an advantage here because the depression of that gun is piss poor. He fires off, completely misses me because it's just too high up and I've got the lower ground. So I've got the advantage there. But I know that ZSU is going to come around and try and get me. So I'm trying to run away here. Now I'm hoping that the ZSU was in this area. Because that's the last time I saw him. But as you can see on the minimap, I am mistaken and the ZSU is creeping up behind me. And there it is. That's the end of me, really, because I'm not going to have a fair fight against a ZSU. My gunner is down. Put out the fire, but I can't swing the gun around in time to take out that bastard. It's one of those very frustrating things. This Tiger 2 here is in some serious trouble with the M41, the M41A1 and the PT76. Oh, that is unlucky. Does not take out the PT76 with one shot. Luckily, the M4A1 is taken out by one of the planes, however, and that PT76 is not going to last much longer with the Tiger 2. So a really nice bit of playing there, and the Tiger 2 is now seriously damaged. Keeping A safe though, and that's an important part of this game. We are really at a disadvantage now. We don't have many tanks, but the enemy, well, as you can see, the enemy are playing a typical game where they're keeping more planes up. You know, they've got planes up, 2 planes up to 3 tanks on the ground. One of them is a ZSU. They've got the ISU 152 and a T-34, but it's the 1940 variant of the T-34. So they really don't have enough ground vehicles. This T-34 is, you know, it's deadly towards me, but it's facing a Tiger 2, and the penetration of this gun is not really enough to do much to a Tiger 2 here. So that thing is at a real disadvantage. Now I am up over on this ridgeline here, trying my best to get away. I'm going to be heading towards the B cap as soon as possible. Missed that ISU there, which is a shame. It's always the tricky part when you're playing realistic battles, though. You do tend to miss these things because they're very hard to see. But that Tiger has taken down the T-34. Now, the Jug has taken down our BF-109. But he jumps straight into a Tiger E. So, we have 2 very heavy tanks and 1 very light medium tank, compared to their GAZ-72, the ISU 152, which is the only real threat, and the ZSU 37. Spitfire goes and crashes. Now, I've got to take out these AI tanks here because they are actually a threat to me. So we got a Churchill there. And we'll take a nice shot through the side. A nice, easy knockout. My biggest problem though is the fact that they've got the P47 up, because that is the 50 cals on that will do a lot of damage towards me, so I've got to be very careful here. Now, we are very equally footed here, but if we can take B, we might have a chance of actually doing well in this game. We may have a chance of winning because the tickets are coming down. Now, the P47 there is flying above me, and I've really got to be careful here. I'm hoping he doesn't notice me. I'll try and use my 7.7mm machine gun, which has about 5 rounds in it, to do something to that P47. Get a couple of hits on it, but there's not really much I can do against it. Now, there's a Centurion Mark 1 up now, and that's a real threat again. 2 ZSUs, which aren't going to do much against a King Tiger, and of course a Gaz truck, and they're all heading towards A. Now I'm busy sitting in the trying to set the B cap off and try my best to avoid that P47. The Tiger here is recovering pretty well from the earlier damage and starting to head over towards B. And the Tiger E is sat in the A cap, well, near the A cap, keeping it safe. Now, good little bit of teamwork here. We're down to 3 players, and the enemy really did have the advantage over us. But I'm now sat in this cap zone. I've got my armour pretty well angled, and I'm trying to really keep out the way of this P47. And as you can see, it's got a really good chance of taking me out. Now you can see the enemy here. There's the Tiger, which I think the P47 is looking towards. That Centurion is the real threat here, though. But luckily, the Tiger here is sort of in a good position. Hopefully he can take it out. But he's given away his position. He manages to pull behind the rocks here. Another hit. Not going to do much on that turret, though, because the turret of the Centurion is very strong. Now, ZSU has just been taken out by the Tiger P. And as you can see, the Centurion has done some real damage, and that ZSU's behind him. But it is the end of the game. We managed to win on points. And that was the end of that battle. We got a victory. Now, I'll pop up the finishing screen. So you can see the points, and it was a really good game. Actually, it was an utter victory, and I was very surprised at it. Really good money earner as well. I earned almost 70,000 silver lions in that match, which was nice, and I also had a golden eagle wager up. So all in all, pretty good. 6 kills. Capping zone, you know, it wasn't a bad finish all in all. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, let me know below. Doing something a little bit different, a bit of a gameplay talk as I go. As I say, I do hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know below, and sorry I'm a little bit out of it from work, but I will see you next time. Thanks ever so much for watching, and for now this is Screezilla out. Bye bye.